And it's really hard to know when it actually goes onto YouTube. So we get lots of bloopers. If you like bloopers, bloopers are us. Okay. So it appears that we're live. And yeah, this is part 3 of a sutta that we've been looking at, Majjhima Nikaya 3. It's a Mahāassapurasutta. So I'm going to start with the document, which has kind of a summary to start with from the sutta, because it's a progression.
Majjhima Nikaya 39.
39. Did I say 39?
I don't think so, but that's
Did I
it's
say
said
it?
now.
Majjhima Nikaya 39. So I'm going to jump right into the document that I have put together. Oh, I had it up.
Yeah. Good. Don't click that X or it'll go away.
Okay.
I
have to go into here.
It's 39.
Okay, here we go.
That's it.
So we should have the sutta open so I can share it. This is an important thing to learn how to do, is to share. Okay, so I'm going to go down to part 3. Some of you might have tried last week to get in, and we had a technical glitch.
Our website is down.
The website was being
Hacked into a Japanese shopping site.
Yes, it was like a major hindrance came in and took over the
airwaves. I don't know.
Pardon me?
The airwaves.
Yeah.
I'm using an old word.
Yeah, it took over our internet. So there's the document itself, which we'll get to. Close your eyes if this makes you dizzy. What more? Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. So one of the reasons why I chose this sutta is because it has a lot of beautiful similes in it, and the similes for the 5 hindrances appear. Okay, and I just wanted to point out the importance of really understanding the hindrances. It's like even from the beginning of the path, we're working on recognizing and abandoning obstructions to the mind, hindrances to the mind, and also in the various forms of defilements and how they may invade our mind. Let's see if I can move this. There, I can read. So this is a part way down in the sutta. He's going step by step by step, and he started out with interesting enough that one should be possessed of the hiriotapa. Hiri is one part of the word, and it's a combined word, so it becomes hiriotapa. And fear and shame sound really strong, and some people who've been in psychotherapy have been advised not to feel a sense of shame, but that's kind of like feeling non-self-worth or something like that. So it's not about that. It's about that we have a sense of consciousness, like I talked about Jiminy Cricket being the little voice that says, "So no, don't go in that direction. No, go this way instead." And then we talked about the word
Scruples.
scruples, and it's an old-fashioned word. And we talked about some people are unscrupulous, and what are scruples? So it's a sense of right and wrong to help direct us. And if we don't have that, we don't have a sense of, oh, this is harmful or unwholesome, I shouldn't be doing it, then people that don't have that or haven't learned that, they become what you might call heartless and careless. And so we want to be heartful and careful and considerate and have a sense of consciousness and scruples. So, and then there's our sila, body contact, verbal contact, mental contact, and livelihood. So these are all in line with the Noble Eightfold Path. We have a right action and right speech and right livelihood. So this is our sila. And so when that's been purified, it says we guard the doors of our senses. And most people are familiar with the word Indriya samvara. You'll see that. There's another word, gutara, or something like that, to guard Indriya, the guarding or protecting. It's often translated as restraint, but it's the same sense of protectiveness, like not allowing one's mind to stray off into sense desire or anger. We're getting lost in those things. And then moderation in eating and devotion. This is knowing the right measure of food, devotion to wakefulness, knowing the right amount of sleep too. But it's wakefulness is also part of that practice, was to abandon unwholesome states, to see them and abandon them through the various watches of the night. And taking it, it says, if you calculate the way it is when they describe each watch of the night and how long those are, it sounds like you're only getting 4 hours sleep. But most teachers, monastic and otherwise, advise against sleep deprivation. So just to know the right measure, if you're working in the world, you might need 8 hours sleep. If you have a lot of sense contact, you may just need more sleep. And when you're on retreat, when you don't have a lot of responsibilities and your meditation is good, then you can be really bright and aware with less sleep. And I've heard from Ajahn Pasano, he was in a city retreat center and there was all this noise in the background from the city. And he was like sleeping like 6 or more hours. And then they reported that to his instructor, and the instructor said, no, you shouldn't be doing that. And then he left there and went to what, Pananachat, or the more secluded, less city contact. And his meditation got deeper and he was able to sleep less. So it's not to deprive ourselves. So this is I'm just kind of trying to summarize and give some comments. So then we get to possessive mindfulness and full awareness. And this is a sati sampajanya. And this is described in the middle-length discourses as being mindful of all of our activities and physical actions, and as sampajakari or something like that is the word. And that's not enough if we've really perfected that. And that much has been done for the goal of recluseship, but even to further ourselves on the path. So what more should be done? So then at this point, a person enters into seclusion after doing all this purification of the mind, all these practices. This is the gradual path. So then on returning from alms round after the meal, one sits down, folding the legs and setting the body erect, establishing mindfulness before them, abandoning covetousness for the world, its desire, sense desire. One abides with a mind free from covetousness, purifies the mind from covetousness. So they've done this work to purify the mind, and they're just even getting deeper in this purification process. Abandoning ill will and hatred, one abides with the mind free from ill will, compassionate for the welfare of all living beings. So that so as opposed to being possessed by ill will, one is developing compassion. It's getting deeper and bringing up wholesome states at this point. Abandoning sloth and torpor. This is dullness and drowsiness. One abides free from sloth and torpor, percipient of light. So this is when someone is tired, sleeping, but it's sleepy not from sleep deprivation, but maybe it's dullness and drowsiness, maybe a better translation. This perceiving light. So some in the sutras, they talk about opening up your eyes and looking around and going outside and seeing daylight. But also there's an idea of the inner light, bringing the mind up to brightness. And I think this is kind of challenging for most people, unless you've had that experience of being able to bring up the light internally. But opening the eyes, brightening the mind in various ways. Mindful and fully aware. So this is because the dullness is the mind is lost its awareness. So bringing up mindfulness, trying to sharpen the mindfulness, and because the mind sometimes the mind settles and becomes quiet, and then it might get dull, and then there's a kind of a foggy feeling to the mind, and you may be able to be sitting up well and present with that fogginess, but it's not really good awareness. It's not so sharpening the mindfulness and brightening the mind. However, if you've had those experiences, you can bring that up for yourself. So purify the mind of sloth and torpor. Excuse me. Abandoning restlessness and remorse, one abides unagitated with the mind inwardly peaceful. One purifies the mind from restlessness and remorse, abandoning doubt. One abides having gone beyond doubt, unperplexed about wholesome states. One purifies the mind from doubt. So, that was Bhante Bodhi's translation. Excuse me. And then this is just a very short clip. After the meal, they return from alms round, sit down cross-legged, set their body straight, and establish mindfulness in their presence. So I like that translation. And this is Parimokam Satim Upata Petwa. So this is a Parimokam. People sometimes say that's just here being aware, because mocha is mouth, but there's also being ahead or where facing, how you're facing. So parimokam, Yannicka's gonna look up the actual word. I didn't get that far with it, but it's to the in front, or how you're facing. So it's like in the forefront is how I've heard it.
To the fore. Yeah.
To the fore. And then sati is the mindfulness. And then the upapetwa, the Bhante Bodhi is translated it. I know it's up at the top here.
It's literally around the front.
Around the front.
Oh.
But this is translated as established or in their established. And the satipatthana, you have the patthana here, patta. So it's if what one stands on or what one is established on. So here I've gotten they go into the similes, and I'm just abbreviated it because we went over it last week. And but a lot of people weren't here last week. And I just really want to put the connection between purifying the mind, abandoning the hindrances, and what happens to the mind when the hindrances are absent. And so this is the first one is related to sense desire. They're in that sequence. It's not specifically stated in the sutta, but in the commentaries, they connect these, and it's the same sequence. So as the hindrances, so they've just put the connected them in order on the commentaries. I hope that's making sense. So suppose a person who has gotten into debt were to apply himself to work and his efforts proved successful. It would pay off the original loan and have enough left over to support his partner, his or her or their partner. Thinking about this, they'd be filled with joy and happiness. So the sense desire, kamachanda, is likened to being in debt experience. And other similes, there's a person who has borrowed a lot of wealth and they're walking around all kind of ostentatious and all their splendor of what they've purchased with their debt. And then the people who put out the loan to repossess everything. And this is like sense desire is just like, it's just a temporary at best experience when we gratify it. So then the ill will, vyapada, suppose a person were sick, suffering, gravely ill. They'd lose their appetite and get physically weak. So this is the experience when we're really angry. If we've, first there's a kind of an adrenaline but then it takes its toll on the body. If you're just like really angry and resentful, and then you don't feel well. It's and then the dullness and drowsiness is a person imprisoned in jail. And for people who've been meditating, and that when you just go through a period of time where you just can't stay awake or can't focus, and you're just really dull, and it is a feeling like constricted. And then restlessness and remorse, excuse me. So the dullness and drowsiness is tina mida, and the restlessness and remorse is uda cha kucha. That's a hard one for me to say. I should practice saying it over and over again. It's like a tongue twister. So it's like being a bond servant or a slave, and they would not be their own master, but indentured to another, unable to go where they want. So we're kind of pulled one way and another by our restlessness. Our mind gets pulled to the past, pulled to the future, back and forth, back and forth. There's this kind of when we're restless in mind and doubt. Vichikicha, a person with wealth and property who was traveling along a desert road. So this is being lost in the desert, and that's commentaries talk about they're at a crossroad and they don't know which way to go. And then the bandits come and steal or kill them. They steal their wealth or kill them, or both. I'm just laughing because that's just what I do about for some reason. But after some time, they crossed the desert safe and sound with no loss of wealth. So they didn't end up getting stuck at the crossroads. They overcame the doubt. Thinking about this, they'd be filled with joy and happiness. So, yeah, if you can imagine that being in the desert and that feeling of being in doubt, it is kind of like being lost and it's a kind of a stark place. It's not pleasant. So I've got Bhante Sujato's translation here. This is Bhante Sujato's as well as what I was reading there. So one would be filled with joy and happiness. So this is a pamoja, which is a form of joy and happiness. And this is it's related to mudita, the mo and mu. They have the same stem here, or root. I don't know, root, I guess. They have the same root, mo, and happiness, or mood. Yeah, for mudita. There it is. It's not, I got it backwards. It's mood for mudita. For happiness, gladness, actively happy state. So this precedes the piti. The pamoja precedes piti, or you're looking it up further on the Pali. We have various dictionaries. So I and Yannicka is digging more deeply.
Yeah, what I like about the root mood is that it's not, it is be happy, but it's also be soft. And so it's kind of this soft, relaxed kind of happiness that it speaks of that safety to me of like having crossed the desert.
Did we? Our clock is
Oh, 26 after.
26. Okay, you can just cue me on the time.
Okay.
26 after. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to do that. So we're just talking about this. Oh, there it goes. Everybody's in,
It's still visible, yeah.
huh?
Yeah, it's visible.
It's good. Okay, so then in the same way, as long as the 5 hindrances are not given up inside themselves, a mendicant or anyone regards them as a debt, a disease, a prison, a slavery, and crossing a desert. So if we recognize them in ourselves, we can think of these similes and say, oh, this is what it's like. But when these 5 hindrances are given up inside themselves, a person regards them as freedom from debt, good health, release from prison, emancipation, and a place of sanctuary at last. I think Bhante Sujato added this at last as his own little comment because I didn't see it in the translation when I was but I might have missed it. Sometimes it's like it's not in obvious places because the grammar is structured differently. So they give up these 5 hindrances, corruptions of the heart that weaken wisdom. So there's this, see the relationship is that it causes unhappiness And it blocks our wisdom when we have our minds are overcome by the hindrances. And that's Bhante Sujato's translation. And this is Bhante Bodhi's. Having abandoned these 5 hindrances, imperfections of the mind that weaken wisdom, quite secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, one enters upon and abides the first jhana. So how this is a lot of work, but this is what can arise. And there's this relationship from the joy that arises from the absence of the hindrances to elements of samadhi.
I think the at last is the evameva.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which comes earlier in the Pali sentence.
Oh,
and he
thank
placed it
you.
At the end.
Okay.
Yeah, which could also be translated as "That's great" or "That's right." Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for looking that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to sometimes hunt because the grammar isn't,
Word order. Yeah.
the word order is different. So I've just taken this from Dika Nikaya. One sees these 5 hindrances have been abandoned within oneself, gladness arises. When one is glad and rapture arises. When the mind is filled with rapture, the body becomes tranquil. Tranquil in body, one experiences happiness. Being happy, one's mind becomes immersed in samadhi. I don't like concentrated so much, but samadhi, enters samadhi. So this happens not from acquisition, but the happiness of the release from letting go of the hindrances. And this process takes time. So we saw all the preparation to get to the state, the guarding the sense gates and keeping our sila pure. All this is supportive of the mind being able to become deep and calm, and this kind of joy that is present in samadhi. So this, some of you may remember we did looked at the water bowl similes and how the hindrances obscure the clarity of the mind. And this is when the mind is pure. It says, suppose, Brahman, there's a bowl of water that is clear, serene, limpid, set out in this light. If a person with good sight were to examine one's own reflection in it, they would know it and see it clearly. So this is the clarity of the mind that comes from, in this particular bit, it's talking about freedom from doubt. But all of the clarity of the mind is visible when each of the hindrances is, when all of them are absent. The mind is clear, serene, limpid, set out in the light, not agitated. And I brought that in because we'll see when we actually get to the sutta, where this is a prelude, and we're probably halfway through. But
We are.
so here I just wanted to point, maybe we should go to the sutta now. I have a link to, I had it. Okay, I have to move this around because I have it here. We'll go to the sutta. I have to move this again. There we go. So they give up these 5 hindrances, corruptions of the heart. Would you like to read just the English?
Sure. They give up these 5 hindrances, corruptions of the heart that weaken wisdom. Then, quite secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unskillful qualities, They enter and remain in the first absorption, which has the rapture and bliss born of seclusion, while placing the mind and keeping it connected. Keep going.
It, yeah, I kind of want to go back and forth between my, yeah, unfortunately, let's see, here it is. Here, um,
we don't get to chant the Pali.
Would you like to?
Yes.
Okay.
Vivekamehi viricha akusalehi dhamehi savitakam savichara vivekajam piti sukham patamajanam upasampaja viharati.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, yeah, I had to do some little bit of digging around because we have savitakam savicharam vivekajam piti sukham. This is Vivichewa is secluding oneself entirely. And then the kamehi is wishing, wanting. This is a sense desire right here. Would be delighted, enjoying, fond, who likes, who loves. But this is more this fondness, this craving, longing. Longing is somewhere, maybe not in this one. But the idea of sense desire, but that's also the objects of pleasure, sense pleasure. So this is pulling away actually from the senses. So when you have your eyes closed and your mind is really immersed in the object of meditation, then it's like if you're reading a book and then the external stimulus is gone and you're just totally absorbed in a book. So the people have that experience, or so anything that you're absorbed into, your attention has absorbed into it. So secluded from not only that desire, wanting, but also your attention is taken away from sight, sound, smells, touches, and then people are pulled out of jhana if they have like a loud sound or something disturbs it. So the first jhana is more fragile than the other ones. So this is a kama. And then akusala is unhealthy, unwholesome, unskillful, unbeneficial. So we pulled away from the hindrances and the contact at the senses to a certain degree. So the 5-factor, this is, I just put together with the help of the Pali, the digital Pali dictionary, because Sawitaka, Sawichara just talks about Sawitaka is thought, reflection, pondering, but the Abhidhamma, specifically when referring to jhana, and people have seen this, I think, I have anyway, when people are describing the jhanas, I think it's coming from an Abhidhammic formula, actually. The 5 factors that describe the first jhana, application of mind, initial application, attention. So this is, Vitaka is literally thought, but it's applying the mind or directing the mind. And then vichara, it's considering, you hear about mental exploration or examination. And that's also causing to move about. And it was like Ayananda Bodhi, we were talking about what vichara was. And I was talking about something like being holding, but there's also a sense of exploration. Oh, like
Attentive curiosity is the quality I feel it is.
attentive curiosity. So, so the mind is held. It'd be kind of like if you're watching a performance of some kind, and all your attention is on that, and you're really aware of what is going on. And so you're kind of like maybe exploring with the mind or examining what's going on, but all your attention is there. It's a little more, it's still more still than if there's something actively going on. So then his piti sukha is a compound word, delight and ease, joy and happiness. And then, so piti sukha, so this is vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha. Here it is, piti sukha. That's 4. And then in this description in this sutta, ekagata is not mentioned. So if you've been to some lectures or heard talks, and they're talking about these 5 factors of the first jhana, in this description, it's not there, but in other suttas, it talks about cetasa ekagatam, and that's description of samadhi. That's a samadindriya. I saw it in a couple of suttas talking about what the samadindriya was, which is unification of the mind. That's how the brief description of what it is. So then we can jump back to the sutta itself, and we may have to just kind of, at this point, what time do we have?
We've got 20 minutes.
Okay, so we probably could read through with it. I didn't do any more detailed.
So we drench, steep, fill, and spread.
Yeah, I can go there. So this is where when I pulled up those water bowl similes, this is related to that, this purity of the mind.
They drench, steep, fill, and spread their body with rapture and bliss born of seclusion. There's no part of the body that's not spread with rapture and bliss born of seclusion. It's like when a deft bathroom attendant or their apprentice pours bath powder into a bronze dish, sprinkling it little by little with water. They knead it until the ball of bath powder is soaked and saturated with moisture, spread through inside and out, yet no moisture oozes out. In the same way, a mendicant drenches, steeps, fills, and spreads their body with rapture and bliss, born of seclusion. There's no part of the body that's not spread with rapture and bliss, born of seclusion.
So if you just stop there for a moment. So this is like I was saying, the water bowl simile. So he's talking about the mind, and the piti sukha is it's pure. It's internally come up. So it's from the mind. The joy is just from the purity of the mind. Mm-hmm. And then the vitaka vichara, I've heard this as the kneading. This is the activity of the mind, is and a spreading throughout. And there's a discussion of the body, what the body is, and whether it's the physical body, the physical experience of the body. But at this point, all of our experience is through the mind. But at this point, there's this purity of mind. And if we're experiencing this joy throughout the mind, it's the experience of joy in the body from the mind, but it's also a kind of a mind, I want to say mind created body in a way. The experiences of the body it's a different kind of experience than the physical touch. Yeah, like that contact, the contact is from the mind. Is that making sense? Rather than the contact being external, it's internal,
It's mental. I wouldn't necessarily
mental.
call it internal. Yeah.
Okay, mental contact. So it's mental contact rather than like I'm feeling, oh, this is the temperature of the sauna and then I get some sprinkling water on me. Oh, there's pleasure from that. Externally, it's more like and yeah, the body, the mind is filling the body. Um, and that's one way of looking at it. Um, so would you like to continue
Let's see, we are at
furthermore?
furthermore, as the placing of the mind and keeping it connected are stilled, a mendicant enters and remains in the second absorption, which has the rapture and bliss born of immersion, with internal clarity and mind at one, without placing the mind and keeping it connected. They drench, steep, fill, and spread their body with rapture and bliss, born of immersion. There's no part of the body that's not spread with rapture and bliss, born of immersion. It's like a deep lake fed by spring water. There's no inlet to the east, west, north, or south, and the heavens would not properly bestow showers from time to time. But the stream of cool water welling up in the lake drenches, steeps, fills, and spreads throughout the lake. There's no part of the lake that's not spread through with cool water. In the same way, a person drenches, steeps, fills, and spreads their body with rapture and bliss born of immersion. There's no part of the body that's not spread with rapture and bliss born of immersion. Keep going.
I just want to.
That's the second. A lot of the mornings in our morning chanting, we do the Eightfold Path, and this is the description of these is the right samadhi, the last path factor.
So the difference here is the stilling or the settling or subsiding. A lot of times it's called subsiding
Subsiding, yeah.
or yeah.
It settles. Yeah, it's a settling.
So the upasama. So these Vitaka Vichara is fading away. It's faded away. And so the so it's a more subtle movement with a steep fill and spread rather than that kneading, that more active kneading of the Vitaka Vichara. And so this is such a beautiful simile, a feeling of just the welling up. We're going to need to wait on your question, Joseph. Hopefully we'll get through. It's a
Yeah.
how are we on time?
47. We've got 13.
Oh, we may just have to read.
Okay, I'll read through. Furthermore, with the fading away of rapture, a mendicant enters and remains in the third absorption, where they meditate with equanimity, mindful and aware. Did I skip one?
No, it should be.
Okay.
Okay.
Personally experiencing the bliss of which the noble ones declare, equanimous and mindful one meditates in bliss. They drench, steep, fill, and spread their bodies with bliss, free of rapture. There's no part of the body that's not spread with bliss, free of rapture. It's like a pool with blue water lilies or pink or white lotuses. Some of them sprout and grow in the water without rising above it, thriving underwater. From the tip to the roots, they're drenched, steeped, filled, and soaked with cool water. There's no part of them that's not soaked with cool water. In the same way, a person drenches, steeps, fills, and spreads their body with bliss, free of rapture. There's no part of the body that's not spread with bliss, free of rapture. Furthermore, with the giving up of pleasure and pain and the disappearance of former happiness and sadness, a mendicant enters and remains in the fourth absorption without pleasure or pain, with pure equanimity and mindfulness. They sit spreading their body through with pure, bright mind. There's no part of the body that's not spread with pure, bright mind. It's like someone sitting wrapped from head to foot with white cloth. There's no part of the body that's not spread over with white cloth. In the same way, they sit spreading their body through with pure, bright mind. There's no part of the body that's not spread with pure, bright mind. When their mind has become immersed in samadhi like this, purified, bright, flawless, rid of corruptions, pliable, workable, steady, and imperturbable, they extend it toward recollection of past lives.
Okay, let's stop there. So this, you can see this is a gradual letting go process. The mind becomes more and more still. There's less, the factors are some of the factors like the free of rapture in the third jhana, and then the fourth absorption, both the disappearance of happiness and any kind of pleasure feeling. But the equanimity is supposed to be the most purest and highest form of happiness, according to the Buddha and the suttas. And this calm, beautiful calm and equanimity and purity of mindfulness. And then so
do we want to just summarize the next
so
ones?
what happens is a person, this takes over time too. From my understanding, it's that you just go boom, boom, boom through all four jhanas. It takes time to develop the jhanas, and we're developing wisdom too, because we're developing understanding through letting go and understanding how the harmful states are obstructive, and then we're developing wholesome states, like when they're talking about developing compassion. That's a shorthand for the a shorthand for the immeasurable states, for the Brahma Viharas. So you're developing wholesome states and developing wisdom along the way. So yes, so there's the three knowledges that arise. They recollect past lives. They direct the mind towards this. Once the mind has become so pure in the jhanic states, they have the ability to direct the mind to these knowledges of past lives.
We did the passing away and being reborn of beings.
And then, yeah, see the karma. They understand karma, why people are born in particular ways.
And they go to ending of defilements and understand the Four Noble Truths.
I don't know how I do this somehow. Do you know how to get this out of this expanded state? Like,
Oh,
there.
No,
No, it's not
still.
complete.
There,
There,
Did I get it?
you got it. Okay, sorry. So, and then they get to the destruction of the taints, which is an indication of arhatship. If they've destroyed the taints, and so they understand this is suffering, this is the origin of suffering, this is the cessation of suffering, this is the practice leading to the cessation of suffering. And it could be that without doing attaining all those clairvoyant and superhuman states of I can't think of the word, anyway, the mental powers, you can get the deep understanding of the Four Noble Truths and enter the stream. I mean, this is going all the way to arahantship, but when this process of purification of the mind is going on, a person could enter the stream. I mean, this can happen in over lifetimes. So, so purifying the mind like this and entering the jhanas, this may be one of the things you, but this is like a deeper understanding of the Four Noble Truths, because knowing and seeing this, the mind is freed from defilements of sensuality, desire to be reborn in ignorance. So these are the three, the asawas, the three taints that are destroyed, upon entering. These are the knowledges prior to entering. And the as I'm drawing a blank for the word, the English word for these the super mundane states. Psychic powers, the psychic powers. What's most important is understanding the Four Noble Truths and destruction of the asawas. So when these taints, when their mind is freed from the taint, or the Bhante Sujata says defilement of sensuality, desire to be reborn in ignorance, they're freed, and they know they're freed. They understand rebirth is ended, the spiritual journey has completed, what had to be done has been done. Oh, there's no further for this place.
Becoming.
No further becoming. They know that the job has been done.
I'm out of here.
And there's no more returning to existence. They're done with samsara. Maybe this place is samsara. We're done with it. So, and then there's more beautiful similes here. How are we doing? Is it about time?
We've got 4 minutes before the top of the hour.
Okay, we could go a little longer. Maybe we can just go, do
you want to open it up, or
we
do you
could
want
pay respects, and then we'll just go off camera and stay.
Okay, yeah, that would work.
Yeah, so do you want to read this beautiful simile about the mountain glen?
Oh, sure. Let me go back up to that.
Oh, I can read it. You got it?
Suppose-
Okay.
Suppose that in a mountain glen, there was a lake that was transparent, clear, and unclouded. A person with clear eyes standing on the bank would see the clams and mussels and pebbles and gravel and schools of fish swimming around or staying still. They'd think, this lake is transparent, clear, and unclouded, and here are the clams and mussels and pebbles and gravel and schools of fish swimming about or staying still. In the same way, one truly understands this is suffering, this is the origin of suffering, this is the cessation of suffering, this is the practice that leads to the cessation of suffering. They'd understand there is no further coming to this samsara.
And then he talks about this mendicant is one who's called an ascetic, a Brahman, a bathed into it. Initiate, a bathed initiate, a knowledge master, a scholar, a noble one. And then he describes what all of that is. So we've completed like what you say, what more should be done? What more should be done? This is,
It's been done.
it's been done. This is the job has been done. Excuse me. And so, so,
Particularly allergy-inducing flowers behind us today.
and they are impeccably remote from bad, unskillful qualities that are corrupting, leading to future lives hurtful, resulting in suffering and for future rebirth, old age, and death. That's how a mendicant is a perfected one. And they did the job. They finished the job. Sadhu, sadhu. This is what the Buddha said. And satisfied, the mendicants approved of what the Buddha said. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
80.
So I'll stop the screen share. And then we can end with paying homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. And those who wish to stay on, who have time,
Questions, comments?
can have questions, comment at that
Considerations.
time. Joseph is the first.
Yeah, and Joseph starts.
Araham Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddham Bhagavantam Abhivadimi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammam Namasa Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sangham Namami. Thank you so much for your, oopsie. We're getting the allergy
Attack here.
attack.